right? In the gun dog world, when you want your dog to pick an item up in the middle, centre of the mass, and obviously, come on, sweetheart, in you come. Obviously, we need to go through a learning process and a learning phase of teaching the dog about balance, about weight, about where to pick up, if it's in a training environment, where to pick up that dummy effectively. So it's not tilting, it's not dragging. We need to get the game back as quickly as we possibly can to a handler that's picking up humanely and as speedily and rapidly as we possibly can. So we go through the process of teaching the dog how to hold and how to pick up and how to carry an item in the centre of its weight, in the centre of its mass, right? So years and years and years ago, we used to sit the dog up in front of us and put the dummy in its mouth and tell it to hold. While it was doing that, we used to praise it, make it positive, make it fun, and make the dog realise the benefit of holding the dummy in the middle, or holding the item in the middle. Over time, the dog would realise that, then we would toss it out, the dog would run out, go and fetch it, bring it back, and over time it would learn the difference between what's easier to pick up and carry and what's not so easy to pick up and carry. Okay, now this is nothing to do with force fetch, which is a technique that's practiced in different countries. Not different countries, it also practices in the UK and England, but it's a different technique to teach a young dog how to hold something correctly. Okay, different subject, different minefield. You either agree with it or you don't. So that's what happened years and years and years ago. We would take the dummy, put it back, take the dummy, put it back, take the dummy, put it back. So the dog learnt how to carry it effectively. Then we went on with, oh, hang on a minute, we need to give something visual for the dog to aim at. So then we started putting white tape around the centre of the dummies to give the dog something visual to connect the right place and the right area on the item to put his mouth on, to pick it up and bring it back to us. So then we all went through the stage of wrapping white tape around the dummies, and it worked, and it's really, really good. So guess what? Boom. The really, really good at guys at Full Pip, which is a extremely good gun dog supplies. I say gun dog supplies because they do equipment, they do experiences, they do training days, they do anything that you could particularly want for if you are interested in working, training, running, doing whatever you want to do, your own gun dogs or your own pet gun dogs. And Howard, Jason, Nick, Martin and all the other ladies and gents that are involved in this are extremely experienced, extremely competent, and potentially, you know, top handlers in the world. So yes, what they've done is they've done a really, really great job in sewing and putting in that white band into the dummy. So we were testing it, we were playing around with it, and yes, great news, it really does work, because we're not needing the tape anymore because it's already there. Another tip, these dummies are really, see how the drive that these two have got for it. So another thing though that I've noticed is it's not too tightly packed. Okay, so when the dog does pick it up, it squeezes down. So naturally the weight is disseminated between the left side of the mouth and the right side of the mouth. So there is a slight give in it, again, giving it a more realistic appeal for a dog that is picking up or will be picking up real game. So excellently made, very, very durable. Throwing rope on there is really, really good. Wide enough so it's not hurting your hands. Not long enough so that the dog isn't distracted by it and starts dragging it back by the line or the knot or the rope. It's not got a canvas, it's got a durable waterproof casing, so it can be used in water, which is really, really good. But look at this, look at this. right? Look at this. And if they're doing this as I'm just messing around in the kennels and the run, how keen are they going to be when we start exposing them to it in a more realistic shooting environment? So, full pip dummies, brilliant, really, really good. Played with it over the last couple of days, and that white band that comes in sewn into the dummy is really, really good. It's really, really effective. And as I mentioned before, it gives a young dog something visual to aim for, to encourage it to pick it up in the center of the mass of the item. Yeah, good. Good girls, good girls, good girls.